Okay, so more study abroad most memorable moments. This time we'll take a look at beating the heat in Thailand. So this is, I'll give you two stories in one here. If you know anything about Thailand, you know that it's really hot. And you might not realize how hot it is here, but man, let me tell you, it is really, really hot. Thailand is one of those places where the heat is so oppressive because the temperature does not really change during the day. You know, a lot of hot places in the evenings they cool off, and in Thailand that just doesn't happen. So it definitely takes like a long time for your body to adjust. And when I was first here as an exchange student, it was really a challenge, and a couple of funny things happened here and there that just remind me of how difficult it was for me to handle the heat when I was first here. So one thing happened at my international house that I stayed at as a student, and it just something funny. It was really frustrating to me at the time, but it just reminded me of like how hot it is in Thailand. It was my friend's birthday, like a month after I had arrived here, and I was like, okay, I'm going to bake this friend a cake. Yay! Like, I'm living in an international house. It's not like a dorm room. So we have like a full kitchen, and you know, have like other friends that I'm living with. They want to help. So this will be fun, like fun little project to do. Well, kitchens in Thailand do not have air conditioning. It's a thing here that they typically have like, well, some nicer houses nowadays, they have like maybe two kitchens, one that's like outside and one that's inside. The inside one is air conditioned and the outside one is not, because that's where they fry like with chili and stuff like that. It's kind of stinky, and so they want it to be kind of separate from the rest of the house. Anyway, so in the international house, the kitchen was more traditional and it did not have air conditioning. So basically what I remember is that we baked this chocolate cake, and you know, it was difficult to cool the cake off, first of all, because it's just so hot. So I believe that I took it into like the living room of the house where there were like a lot of fans running, and that I had bought like chocolate icing and like little things to decorate and write with on the top, and iced the cake and like decorated it. And my friends and I are sitting there looking at it, and we didn't really have like much in terms of like equipment in the kitchen or like plates and things like that. So I think it was sitting on another pan. Okay, we're sitting there looking at it, and I suddenly realize that two things are happening. One, the like sprinkles and I think it was like M&Ms that were on the top that we used to spell out like happy birthday to this person were melting. I mean, we just iced it like 5 minutes before, and it was melting, so the colors were like starting to like kind of stream into the chocolate icing, which looked really appetizing, as you can imagine. And the second thing that was happening was that the entire cake was kind of sliding slowly across the pan, and I realized that like the whole thing was melting, like the entire cake was melting. Within like 5 minutes of finishing making this cake, the entire thing was melting. Like luckily that friend was coming over very soon after that, and so we like gave the person the cake and we're like, okay, just like let's eat it right now, like not a second to waste. The cake is disappearing as we speak. So that's one memory I have of the heat in Thailand. Another memory that my friends will never let me live down is my first trip to JJ. So JJ, if you've ever been to Bangkok, JJ is the short name for Chatuchak Market. It's the weekend market here. It's massive and it's very, very famous and popular, especially amongst tourists. And okay, someone's contacting me on my phone. Sorry about that. So I had never been to JJ. It was already like, let's say, halfway into my study abroad experience. And some of my housemates were like ragging on me like, oh, come on, you need to go, you need to go. So finally I was like, all right, I'll go. And I'm going to say it was like a Saturday morning or something. And get into a taxi. We lived outside of the city. It was like 45-minute drive by taxi to get to JJ Market. We get to JJ, and I guess in my mind, like I had previously lived in France, and I loved markets in France. You know, like they were just so beautiful, and obviously the weather is a lot different there, and I could just spend all day like walking around these lovely French markets. I actually did like research in the markets when I was living in France, so like I loved it. So I kind of had this fantasy that, oh, I'm going to go to JJ and I'm just going to love it. Like I'm just going to be able to walk around and enjoy myself. We arrive at JJ. I get out of the taxi, and within like 3 minutes, I'm like, bye guys, I'm going to call another taxi and go back home. And they were like, are you joking? I was like, no, I can't handle it. Like, I'm going to pass out. I felt like I was going to pass out after like 2-3 minutes walking through this market, because there's no air conditioning whatsoever, like no fan system anywhere. Now, if I flash forward to now, I love going to JJ. I've lived here now for over 7 years and I can handle it. It's still exhausting though, even though my body has adjusted to the heat. But oh gosh, when I see the couple of people that I went with that day, when I see them now, they always remind me like, oh man, do you remember that first time that you went to JJ? You only lasted 2 minutes. 2 minutes! You were back in the taxi. We stayed for so long enjoying ourselves, and you went back home. I was like, yep, that's right. That was my first time at JJ. So, you know, it's a good lesson though. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself when you're in a strange country for the first time and your body is not happy with the environment, and you have to be a little bit different from your friends, even if it's embarrassing. So that was my experience with the heat in Thailand. So why do I share these memorable moments from my study abroad experience? Well, for me, I think it's important to share your experiences to motivate other people to go and try study abroad. So if you have studied abroad and you have memorable moments to share, which I'm sure that you do if you've been abroad before, please leave them in the comments below, and let's help inspire other young people to go and have some amazing experiences abroad as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.